Hi, performers and achievers. Welcome to Performers and Achievers Daily with me, Raj Gavurla. In today's episode, when you're performing and achieving with one or more people, what is positive, skillful motivation? Positive, skillful motivation is positive. Something that is positive sounding, positive looking. Skillful means that there is a skill involved in it. So what you're positive about is the skill that's being demonstrated or being shown or being performed and achieved while you and one or more people are performing and achieving. And motivation is you get that immediate motivation and it makes it sustainable for you to then continue. Now, some people use different words on what motivation is. And let me give you an example of motivation. What's not motivation? Example of what's not motivation. Let's say you're performing and achieving and someone tells you or says, you're not going to do that. When it's something that is beneficial for what it is that's being performed and achieved. Or they tell you, for whatever reason, you're not going to make it. Or the big one is, you can't. Or you can't do that. Or something else that is ridiculous. How come it's ridiculous? It's because you're performing and achieving together. So since it's something that would be beneficial to the performance and achievement that is occurring, that negativity and what they're trying to do is activate you to fight through that negativity. Activate your fight response. Well, when you're performing and achieving, and as you are, there's really nothing to fight about. There's a lot of other responses that one can activate besides fight, flight, freeze, or hide. So here are some examples. Let's say you're performing and achieving, you and another person, or more than one person, and something good happens. You accomplish a specific metric. You've served this many customers, or you've completed this specific for a period of time period, this specific allotment of time or this amount of work. And so you know that there'll be more coming. So something that's positive, skillful motivation would be good teamwork. What that does is that it is acknowledging the performing and achieving of getting to this specific point. And it wouldn't have been possible without good teamwork. Now, the other positive, skillful motivation example is to give them a reason. That's positive, skillful, motivational. Like, you accomplished this, or you have achieved this. Now, tomorrow we have another day, or next week we have another day, another initiative, another project. And so you point out all the positive, skillful motivation reasons they are succeeding. You implemented a new routine. You learned how to make that particular design, that particular product. You learned how to deliver that specific service. And so now they become and are recognized or acknowledged of having more skill in that area. They're skillful. Does that mean that they couldn't be more skillful? Sure, they could. Most likely they could. However, by positively, skillfully motivating through acknowledging and recognizing the specific skill that they learned. You learn to do the routine of making XYZ. You were able to implement the routine. You are consistently performing and achieving. Or it could be something like you're able to deliver the service to your customer or to our customer. And this acknowledgement of being positively, skillfully motivational immediately puts them not in one of those fight, flight, freeze, hide responses. It puts them in the skillful response. Skillful. Skillful response. So it's this acknowledgement, this recognition be a positive, skillful motivation. You're positively acknowledging the skill. And by doing that, what is that doing? It's creating the motivation, the positive, skillful motivation. However, I see so many people who do not grasp this at all. Someone could say, for example, you're running out of time. That's not positive, skillful motivation. Instead, how about something like whatever it is that you and other people and someone else are performing and achieving, telling them or saying, add a specific skill, which is starting to get into instructional coaching. Or it could be, I saw that you were being too challenged with that. Therefore, you tell and say, the skill that's positive skill that you can guide them to redirect them so that their motivational is continuing, right? Or to direct them. And so this is very common in lots of areas when there is something that's being timed or something that's being measured. And instead of looking at the outcome or the expectation of what it is that's being performed and achieved, you're instead talking to them or each other or saying to each other the positive skill that's either being demonstrated, being performed and achieved, or you acknowledge something to continue that positive skill motivation of good shot, good defense. You're moving good. Good control. Good that you're reading the whatever it may be. And what this does is, first of all, it doesn't take them down and they need to fight through because you're on the same team. You're supposed to be showing good teamwork, demonstrating it, talking to each other in a positive, skillful, motivational way. And that acknowledgement, recognition of performing and achieving together as you are in real time. And you're not really talking about time. But if you're trying to focus on time, you're wasting cognitive resources. If you're trying to focus on the outcome, win, or set a record, you're wasting cognitive resources. However, when in the routine that you're doing or the process you're doing, as you positively, skillfully motivate, you're acknowledging and recognizing the skill. So here's my point of view. Is it's skillful work or is it's hard work? I would much rather think of it as it's skillful work because it's the skillfulness, your ability to be more or become more skillful that's solving what was. It's hard work. Here's another one of my point of views. Is it work skillfully or is it work hard? I like work skillfully because it's the skillfulness. Work skillfully. It's the skill that you're working. Because as you're working the skill, the performing, the achieving, consistently performing and achieving occurs. And as you become more skillful, then it becomes beneficial, better, easier. And what does this do? You receive good opportunity, good benefits, and good options. So, are you a skillful worker or are you a hard worker? Do you work skillfully or do you work hard? Do you become more skillful so then you can succeed? Yours or you're a good team where it's next level of success. Consistently performing and achieving. Your bonus is an assignment. What is something that currently you are doing that maybe you didn't have this point of view of it's skillful work or become more skillful? It's work skillfully or work to become more skillful. And so this is much, much does a lot more good than previously positive, skillful motivation. And it is or does more good than encouragement. Because in encouragement, you're not acknowledging or recognizing any skill. You're being encouraging. You can do it. Is there any, it's better than you can't do it. Or let's go. because they're encouraging. It's better than we're not doing good, or you're not moving, or you're not thinking, or you're not something else. The positive, skillful motivation has much more benefits, does a lot more good, and is a lot easier than negative motivation or encouragement, which is better than negative in motivation. However, it's not acknowledging or recognizing the skill, whether that's while you're performing and achieving or afterwards. When you reflect, what went well? What could be more skillful? And how? If you like my podcast, like it and comment in the comment section. For those of you who are interested in my private, personal, professional, confidential programs and services, visit my website, rajgavurla.com. Fill out the brief form, and we will contact you as soon as we can. Enjoy your day.